Hey, what's up, everybody? It's KyFy. I'm glad you could be here. It's going to be a great reading. It's going to be a reading for Libra, so I hope you're ready for it. If you don't know about me already, basically, I became a reader to introduce the community to a new concept that I created. It's all around the tarot, and it's basically, I call it the divine masculine approach to tarot. So with that in mind, one of my goals is to create an app around this concept, and it would be a great help if, when you like this content, put a like down, like the video, because it'll help me get more views to the community, and eventually I will get this app up and running for everyone. So without further ado, I present to you the Zin-Finity Board. Alright, so of course y'all know this is my baby, I say it all the time, but we're gonna get right to it. Libra, how you doing? So, the name of this reading is Resistance is Fruitful. Now why? We're gonna explain it in so many different ways, but understand that when you resist the things that deter you from your path, you benefit. So let's just say, if you are not that good at farming and the distractions of your regular life, the life you had before, were in your way, resistance from that will give you more focus to be more in your farmhood, whatever you want to call it, right? So moving on with that concept, the first message, I'm gonna just start dealing the cards real quick. I shuffled already, so I'm gonna shuffle one more time. The first message is naturally, when you think about it, is the path of least resistance. So what does that mean? Anything that you are doing, if you consider it tough, what can you do along the same path that is so easy for you to do, even at this level, even at this stage? The path, let me put it this way. I should have picked that up. I see it. I'm gonna go ahead and put these cards down. So in understanding the path of least resistance, whatever that's easier for you to do, but not like super easy, because baby steps only get you so far in the long run. Eventually you're gonna have to take bigger strides. You're gonna have to temper yourself better, right? So, but the baby steps are always available. So what can you do that's around you that will help in that venture? The second message is a good one, and it's called the Mask of Weakness. And understand that is a mental mask. So basically, whatever you find yourself weak as, meaning when you look in the mirror in your mind, when you judge yourself and you say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this because, right? Whatever those because reasons are, those are basic like weaknesses that you keep referring to, you keep relying on to just keep you stagnant, right? So these are also masks, right? Why are they masks? Because you know deep within your soul that you are very powerful. You even dream about it. You have dreams of you seeing yourself on a stage, whatever stage that is that you present, wherever, depending on what you're trying to do with your life, the stage presents itself. And what is it for? Usually, if you find something that helps somebody else out and you can make a business out of it, it'll benefit you more, because maybe that's a part of God's plan for you, because you're sent here to you would say, if you are a light being, you're sent here to help people. So in a sense, when you are coming into your own power, there's a job for you, or there's a job that you can, take. It's up to you. But in this solo journey, how does it reflect to that? So, as we know, if you've been following me, every sign has basic attributes. And for Libra, it goes as follows. It's a little bit different with Libra, I'm going to show you. It's the house, the fuel, the focus, the power, and the tool. So what does this mean? The Libra is the house of relationships, and it is in, let me get it. So each house is a representation of a perspective in God's mind, right? So whatever house that you're in, basically you can understand it as a place that you are the most powerful in this world, above everybody else. It's like you'll understand that when you have pride in your sign, the natural talents will come out. But moving on from there, you have the fuel, which fuels that house. Basically, what gives that house life. So if there's an oil or if there's electricity, that fuel would be victory for you. So that victory feeling, the feeling of victory, getting something done after a long time, after all that time, that battle, that stride, you had to be patient and temperate with people. So many things, but that victory, like achieving that goal and getting through the tunnel, that feeling is what powers your house. So the more you stick to that, the more you remember what it is to go through it, what it is to be done with it, the more you remember how it is to be out of that feeling, that fuels you to just, be yourself. Moving on, you have the focus, which is severity. Now, severity is the place of Boaz. Now, that's a pillar. That's a whole pillar. Now, why is it a pillar? Because you are the heads of justice, which is your power. So your power and your focus, understand it as in archery. You have a bow and you have a string. Your string is your power, the bow, and where it's going to be, where the arrow's going to go, is your focus. So severity, being severe, being absolute about what you need to do, and not letting anything get in your way, is your focus. It was what keeps you on the right path. So that's what you can do better than other people. Everybody has their own strong suits, and it's going to keep going, right? So the power, the strength behind the pull, with how far the arrow is going to go, your distance, your biggest vibration, is the justice card. And I like the justice card because anytime justice comes in your life, you understand that something was returned to you, or at least evened out, right? But understand it's a dark energy. Justice is on this side of this board, and that's in the world of creation, but this is on the dark side. So this is the place of contracting everything around you into yourself, becoming more dense. Density is basically, you can grow, but you'll still be soft. The more dense you are, the better you're able to keep what you grew, if that makes sense, right? And lastly is your tool. The tool is also the will, and the will is behind the solar plexus, right? So like your tool is rhythm. You have an innate ability to be rhythmic with things, but basically that means gaining good habits, right? So that's one of your skill sets. So moving on to the first part of the reading, we're going to go to the Viscera Vitalis, and this is basically the background, what crowns the reading, what you're after, what you're looking for, but it involves the 10 eyes and the 4 domains. Now what does that mean? Let me get it. So all the black cards, I missed one. See, look at that. So there are a total of 10 black cards, and those are all eyes. Those are the 10 eyes of your mind, and you have 10, right? And then there are 4 domains where these 10 eyes operate and judge things, and basically then you operate, right, in your life. So these 10 eyes goes as follows. first of all, is IB, but that doesn't really make sense. But what you can understand that is your sense of being and your essential nature. I am always going to be this way. So the way that you're always going to be is this card right here. So IB, and this is represented by the High Priestess. We're off to a good start, because look at the balance right here. I already said Boaz, and this is Jacqueline, right? So your power, or this is not your power, your focus is already up here. So your essential nature is to be focused on what you can do, how you can grow, how you can manifest within yourself. That's your essential nature. So what's gonna block you throughout this is people and things and your relationships. Relationships are not just people. Relationships are anything that you do. You have a relationship with a chair, and the chair can be almost broke, but if you got another one, you'll be more comfortable. Different relationships give you different benefits, right? But it comes so rounded in your whole life with everything that you use, even the train system, the MTA, your car, that's a relationship. Everything, how you take care of it, it's all the same. Right. So that's represented by the High Priestess, and it says inner voice, intuition, divine truth, wisdom, unconscious and unconscious, right? So always it's kind of a harsh energy coming, because you judge yourself more than other people, but you think other people judge you more. But it's really that since you do it so much in your mind, and then it comes out somebody's mouth, it triggers you more because you constantly think about it, right? So if you thought more that you were stronger than that, or if you thought more that what you were doing was actually helping you, the next time it will come up for you to be triggered, it wouldn't happen the same way. You'll have more control. So just think about that. Moving on to the next I is I want. Now this is Hokmah. First one was Ketha, and this was the crown energy, right? What crowns the reading, right? Then it goes to Hokmah, which is your light energy, the masculine part of it, the divine masculine. But this is also known as your path. And this is I want, where you want to go, right? And this is represented by the 9 of Swords. Now, this is offsuit, and I'm going to explain what that means. On this side right here, this side is dominated by earth and fire. This side is dominated by water and air. This right here is fire and air, right? So when you see another element on this side that isn't supposed to be here, understand that there's something in your life that has you doing the wrong thing in the right path. So you're in your right path, right? Let's just say anxiety, hopelessness, and trauma. Now the reason why this can't be over here is because this is a mental thing in the place of your action. So there's something mental that's blocking you naturally with the air, right? It's in the wrong place. You're not supposed to be thinking so much over here. You're supposed to get there, not think that you are getting there, right? Or think yourself out of the place. You have to act. So yeah, let's just keep this right like this. I turn all the things that are offsuit to the right a little bit so you can understand where the energy is blocked. We're starting from the crown, ending off at the root. And when we get to the root, we're going to understand where everything is blocked, and then unblock them by putting the right card down. And then we have the actual energy in your mind, your own chakras, going down to your root. When we finish that, then we get up to the last part, which is the star stream, right? And we talk about how you use that energy, bringing it back up to the crown, in a sense, right? So it's the rotation of energy. We're unblocking the channels. Yeah, I said it right. And that's the main purpose of the Zin-Finity Board. So if you like this, like, subscribe to my channel. You'll see more of this, but I gotta continue. Thank you though. Next is your place of I need. So you need, now, 10 of Swords. You need this to be finished. That's what I got from that. And what does that mean? Failure, collapse, and defeat. So you know you need this to end. There's something that's been going on for so long, and it's like, I would rather not jump off a cliff. That's OD. So if you're thinking that, just sit down and listen to this and see how you feel afterwards. Because, who am I? I'm a person, I believe I'm equipped to give you a different perspective that will be like, maybe there's a new way to do things. Maybe see the light. So let's see if I can do that. See if I can help us out. Right? This is a long time. This is years. So moving on from there, we have what is I will. Now that you know what you want and what you need, you understand what you will and what you desire, right? So the Two of Cups, the Cups is good. The Fool is the air card, so this is off right now. You cannot cook air. There's nothing to use, right? You can use heat of the fire, your soul, your passion, with some kind of manifestation, or you can use the manifestation that God blesses you with your soul, your passion. So it runs those two ways. And the air energy, the Fool, is not gonna do it. You just like trying to blow a rock. It don't work, right? It'll just eat at it eventually, but you ain't got that kind of time. So yeah, this is in a place of your will. I will maybe not be a fool the next time. So the Fool, yeah, since you know it needs, you need it to end. What you want to bring into this world, what you want to manifest, how you want to live, won't come to play, because you have to do it over again. You have to do it over again. Maybe don't be scared to jump into it. Okay. So the Two of Cups, let's get it. So in your place of I desire, you have unity, partnership, and connection, right? So this is on suit. This is in line. Your desires are in line, but your mind is in your way. Now we're gonna understand why shortly. But if you have the right connections, what do you believe that you hold as a value to you? Like, you value this belief. Like, I would die, I will go to the grave with this. I will believe this for my whole life, and nobody can tell me anything different. See, that's dangerous, because if you want to change, your beliefs have to also be able to change too, because those are anchor points of where you're going. And maybe you have to make a turn, and if you believe for this long, for this so much time, you're eventually going to be veering off your destiny, off your path, because you had to use that belief to get to a certain point. Now, since you learned everything about that, you can make a turn and find out what you believe now. What did you learn? Going with this new knowledge, what do you know now? All right. Next up is I love. I did it wrong. Before these two was the place of I know. Now, before this was the area of your gift, and it is literally the same thing. Your knowledge, there's something that you know greater than anybody in this world. It's like a thumbprint, and God gave something to you to spread, love to this world. Love comes in many forms, and it usually comes in the form of help. How can you help other people? How can you help the situation? How can you make things better? It usually runs into business too, because that's how you get a good business. You got to find out what's wrong, and find out a way to fix it and get money off of that. Eventually, find a way to fix a problem, you can have a business. I think that's some way to how the quote went. Yeah. So this is the King of Cups. Now, this is offsuit. And what does this mean? You're thinking too emotionally. So this is more a fantasy other than your dream, the dream that you came here with. What is a fantasy? A fantasy is ruled by the ego. A dream is ruled by the spirit. And you know the spirit is which one you want to follow. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, but this is the King of Cups. Oh, it says compassion, control, and balance. Now, how do you know that you know what's right for you? Because you went through trials, swearing that it was right for you before. We all been in that type of love. This is right for me. And then when you get on the other side, your hair burnt, you come out the cave, you just finally see the light, and you be like, now I know what to look for. But if you tried to control it emotionally, not only will you only be ignorant to what you choose because it's out of fear, you'll choose the cycle instead of choosing the path that God gave you. So don't be afraid to go to your lessons, or don't be afraid to learn them, because, how should I say, when the ego is too much in control, there's no unity between the spirit and the ego. There's no unity between the masculine and the feminine. So that energy can't be created in new manifestation because you're trying to take control. God can't give you anything new if you don't release something. So it's something you have to let go. Right? Yeah. So moving on again, we have, there's something that you know you need to let go. You've been through this. This is emotional. It's been holding you for a very long time. You've been sitting with this for a very long time. It's time to let it go. You've been drinking this. What's in this other hand? It looks like a torch. So you have emotions on one side and passion on the other side. Well, you got your answer there. Once you get rid of the emotion, it becomes passion for your new venture. Alright. So moving on from there, you have the place of I love, and this is the Emperor. The Emperor is a fire card, and this is offsuit. So this is passion in the place of logic. Right? That's specifically what that is. So let's look at that. Authority, structure, control, and fatherhood. So when it comes to you doing this by yourself, fatherhood is your divine masculine, the control of the divine masculine. So it's coming up to play, as in you're taking control of what you find beautiful. No, how should I put this? This area right here is known as the veil. And what you think you know, until it comes back around and get manifested and you get to experience what God wanted you to find out, you won't truly know it. So thinking that you're going to know what the experience is taking away what God lined up for you, because you're saying that I believe that these are the experiences I'm going to have. So no, you and God are at odds. No, these are not the experiences. So we're not going to go anywhere till you understand that. Right? Moving on to, this is the place of I act. Right? How do you act? And this is Ten of Wands, and this is on suit. So you're taking, this is the Ten of Swords, this is the Ten of Wands. This is probably the reason why you have a little bit of movement, right? So you're able to take these burdens with you, but it's a stress. So let's see. So accomplishment, responsibility, and burden. Yeah. You're taking these lessons that you think you learned. You're taking these assumptions. It's all ignorance, but you're taking these with you and saying that you know what you need to do, but it's not fixing itself because it's not the right thing to do. So if you would trust more in what your spirit has to say, you know, you got to feel it out. If you trusted more in what your spirit had to say, you'll probably get further very quickly. So let's just see what your spirit has to say. This is the place of I feel, right? So I desire, I feel. You gotta feel out what you desire. And this is giving me this is the death card. And this is a water card, so this is perfect. Right? You feel you need an ending. We've been talking about the ending the whole time. You need to let this go. You absolutely know that you need to let it go. So what stops you from letting it go? So this is the place of I am, right? So let's look at this. I am the Two of Wands. Now, this is not Earth, so that means this is offsuit. The Emperor is fire in the place of air, so passion over logic. And the Wand is, let's just say, passion over practicality. So, although you have the right energy, there's a method that you aren't exploring. And I know that's frustrating. So let's get to the energies that are around you. The second part of the Visceral Vitalis. Let's just flip them real quick and find out what they are. So, in the world of emanation, right? We have spiritual cleansing. In your mind, Yetzirah, we have release. In your spirit, Bariya, we have karmic path, right? And in Asiya, your body, the manifestation, we have transformation. So, death, transformation, endings, it's too passionate, but you understand the balance that needs to happen. So this energy I already know needs to be more prevalent. I don't see the Justice card out yet. So the cards I just flipped are my Sacred Symbols Oracle cards. And I'm going to just read them in order really quickly, starting off with Emanation. Emanation is the first energy. So this is the energy of like where your ideas and imaginations come from. And also the place of after your experiences, you get new ideas and imaginations. So understand where this place comes in handy. And this is also a place of knowledge. So you know that you need a spiritual cleansing. So, have you been in contact with any spiritual devices like crystals, chains, metals? There's so many things you can get in contact with. So, just look it up. Google is very friendly when it comes up to spiritual items. Right? So, but spiritual cleansing, let's look it up. It's time for a spiritual cleansing. It's time for a spiritual cleansing of the body, mind, or spaces which you reside. There is an imbalance, stuck energy, or heaviness in your environment that needs to be released before you proceed further. Right? It's pretty self-explanatory. So there is a phrase that I'm gonna get, the community on. It's called shadow stabbing, and this is essentially somebody else's core, without their knowledge, without their knowing knowledge, literally hurting you at any chance because they're in pain or because they can't cope and things that like that. So if you're a light being, if you're a person that's on the path, because you can see it, you have to handle it. You have to be able to handle it. But handling this will only benefit you because there's something else, something greater that you need to handle. So understand that this is just a part of the path and not something that's going to block you. This is just something that you need to figure out. When you do that, your ideas and not your passions, but basically the things that got you going, like that childhood, that childlike mindset. Oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. The impossibles become possible, right? So yeah, going from there, you go to your mind. Let's look at this up because this says release, and it's all self-explanatory at this point. But let's look it up. Without delay, cut the cords to any unhealthy or toxic people, places, energy, habits, and beliefs. See, remember those beliefs that I was just talking about? So it's coming back up. This is a time to stand in your truth without cutting anyone down in the process. Meditate on this when you want to be the spiritual warrior with love, honor, and compassion. See, passion and compassion, right? I'm just pointing out what I'm noticing. So yeah, that's on your mind. There's a belief, a mindset that you have that says, I should be doing this because it benefits me this way. But that benefit can also hurt you in a very bad way that you don't see in the long run. You've been doing it for so long, you don't even notice it, right? So sometimes those big habits have to be forced out of you because you won't even see them, because you can be ignorant to it. Sometimes that's not your fault, but you get clues. So I don't think we're never not at fault. Sometimes God just says, hey, you need to learn this now, but sometimes you need to go through the process. So discover which one you're on right now. So in your spirit, the thing that is blocked right now that's stopping you from basically filling yourself out instead of everything that you've learned out. It's not, that's an image of you, that's a mask of you. Your mind knows what keeps you safe, but your spirit also knows what keeps you safe in the fact of you can do it yourself. You don't need anything else. So karmic path, karmic lesson, learning experience, hard work, perseverance, and structure. A new valuable lesson is available to you at this time. This moment requires your due diligence. I was just saying that word all week. Due diligence. It's crazy. Pay attention to what's being presented to you. Have you been down this road before, or souls come to this earth? Wow. Our souls come to this earth school to learn valuable lessons as beings for the planet. What are you being taught right now? This moment you may require hard work, but it will have many long-lasting rewards. You are not being punished, but you are gaining tools and experience for that living, for living that will be with you for the rest of your life. So your experiences are tools, they're mental tools. So if you choose to understand what you went through and understand what you know not to do anymore and what you know to do, those are your experiences giving you new tools to operate more freely and less anxious and less anxiety, you know, right? So you got to get through it to get the tools. That's your answer. You got to deal with it. Yeah. Drawing this card also tells you that the foundation of what you are building is strong and is part of your legacy. Alright, so lastly is the world of manifestation. So manifestation, transformation, let's see what it says. We kind of know this card by heart now, I believe, but, well, not this card, the butterfly, we get it. The butterfly goes through many stages before it becomes the beautiful creature it is. Honor your process and allow your beauty to be seen by all. Wear more color to help announce the arrival of your exquisite transformation. Meditate on this when you want to call in more beauty, grace, and acceptance during this time of transition. So, you know, you're calling this new beginning in. You're saying, I'm through with what I'm thinking, because what I'm thinking is stopping me, and you acknowledge it. Beautiful place to be, because God's going to say, okay, because you acknowledge it, I'm going to speed you up, and it's going to make you feel good. It's going to give you some pride, some, you know, something to hold on to, something to wake up in the morning and feel good about, right? It's going to give you something like that, because you're going to be seeing the beginnings and the newness of yourself, the part of you, the piece of you that you've been searching for so long is building inside of you. It's building inside of your mind. So take the time. Alright, so next up is the Pneuma Effect. And what that means is you have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards that are off suit. All the energy, you know, on the tree of life, starting with the crown, goes to the root besides these. Hokmah, which is your light energy, your path. Then it's Chesed, which is your will, your action, your ability to act. Then it is Tiferet, which is your heart. Basically your how should I say? The beautiful things in your life. They're out of whack. You're not doing the things like you used to. that used to give you that spiritual push, that, oh, this is a great life to live kind of feeling. Those things are out of whack because you've been stuck on handling it yourself for so long, right? So after that, you have the Two of Wands, which is off suit with your with Malkuth. So Malkuth is the kingdom, your temple, the things that you have around you. Even though that you're passionate about it, it's not the right thing. So let's just say if your weapon of choice is a sword, but you have a spear in your hand, you're never going to be as good as you know you truly are, right? So this is the wrong thing to have. It's maybe not just a weapon, but understand you have the passion to fight. You have the passion to learn to defend yourself. You have the passion to learn how to succeed in this world, but the facilities that you have right now aren't the things for you. So let's start correcting these. Perfect. The Knight of Wands came out. As I said before, this place is fire and earth. So one of these two cards came out. We're perfect on that end. That's what it was. The King of Cups. Thought I was missing something. Alright. Oh, I put it on the wrong side. I don't know why I did that. I meant to do it where, so more emotion. So that's not correct right now. Alright, perfect. We're gonna get these explanations. But what I'm doing right now, as you see more cards go into more places, that's more weight and that's spiritual energy. Usually that's time to transmute. So the more weight on a certain area is the more that you not have to work on, but it's an indicator of what needs the most work, right? Alright. Not yet. Emotions in the place of will won't get it done. Because when you try to, there you go. When you try to, if you're cooking, right? You add more water to what you want to cook. But there's no substance to cook. You're just creating more steam, more air, more mental baggage. So these emotions that you try to work with aren't helping you. But then you found one thing with the Page of Pentacles that solidified you. One thing that you could work with. So you have one thing on the way, or you're doing one thing right now that's perfect, and don't ever stop it. Keep going. That person cannot stop you from doing it because it's your birthright. Can't take it from you. Yeah. We all know where that could go. Let's see. Ace of Wands. More fire. But that means it's just, so the disrespect. Oh, there's a card flip. Should I take that card? Okay, I'll take it because I didn't see it. Alright, so the Eight of Pentacles. You know a lot of work needs to be done, or you're doing the work towards it. Too many cards. Page of Swords, perfect. And lastly is the place of I am. I am is very important. It's the place of where fear roots itself. So if you are not safe, simple, if you are not safe, you are at fear. It comes in many forms. If you're anxious, you're not really, I don't know if you're not safe, but If you were safe, you'd be calm. So, mental energy in the place of a manifestation is a thought process that doesn't really get you anywhere. So it's like studying something or looking into something that doesn't matter. It don't matter. If somebody's looking at you trying to figure out something about you, it won't work. It won't work, and it won't work vice versa either. So leave people alone. What you need to know will come to you. So it's something. Oh, there you go. Ace of Swords. So let's keep going. All right. So I think we found a problem. Okay, so Knight of Pentacles. I like to use my Wise Spell Tarot deck right here. I'm gonna put it like this because it has some of the best explanations that I've seen so far. And we're gonna start off with, we're gonna quickly go down the line from the crown just to make it make sense, right? So High Priestess. So your essential nature. I am always this way, right? I am always intuitive, mysterious, spiritual. You are always not showing off your power. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe that's something that you don't like people doing. You don't like when they show off their power because, let's be real. Sometimes you could think you're more powerful than somebody, but it's not about competition. That's that own person's path. So why should you interject and say I'm better than you? It will only, if you are correct, it will only deter them from their path. Sometimes you just gotta let people go and let them big themselves up so they can get past this part. You don't know what somebody's going through. They could be yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping just to get through it, just to get to the next day. They got 4 more days of this yapping and then they can calm down. Then they can come back to you and say, oh yeah, after all that yapping, I'm sorry. Like something like that, It works different ways, but if it's habitual, it's something that's around you that you keep doing. Maybe it's a post that you keep going to, a type of video you keep watching. We get influenced by a lot of things. So we're eating these influences with our minds. So be careful what you're eating. Many different types of foods. Alright, so your nature is to listen to your inner voice, but something's been blocking it. And the first thing to block it comes at the Knight of Wands at Hokmah. Well, the Knight of Swords, the 9 of Swords at Hokmah. We started with the 9 of Swords and we ended up with the Knight of Wands. So this is your path, right? So, starting with the 9 of Swords, it was offsuit, right? You have fear, anxiety, negativity, the breaking point, despair, nightmares, and isolation. That this is in your path. This is what you think is headed towards you. But didn't you learn about these things? Just because these things happen in your past doesn't mean that what you know it's going to happen again. Even if you go through the same scenarios, it won't happen again because you know how to operate. These scenarios won't ever take place again. Nope, I've seen this before. I knew and I told myself I was going to do this. Now I'm going to do this. You're completely safe because you already got the knowledge that keeps you safe. Right? Moving on from there, you went to the Knight of Wands. Courageous. And this ended it off. Being courageous, energetic, charming, heroic, rebellious, hot-tempered, and free-spirited. See that free spirit, right? Allowing yourself to be yourself in the face of everybody. Standing up to the crowd of people that say and push you down in the form of this. Like, if you have an idea, there's something that would say that would really hurt you, you didn't even know it. If you are celebrating, they'll find something that was negative about that celebration. It's just like the nitpicking. Those little things that you didn't think about that had a greater effect, yeah. Those things don't affect you no more because you say, you know what, even though you believe, like people tell you, you tell yourself, even though those things come to you, they're not going to have power over you no more. So that energy is now cleared. So let's move on to Bina, which is your desire, with the Ten of Swords. Ruin, failure, bitterness, collapse, exhaustion, dead end, victimization, and betrayal. Now, this is the end of it. So you've been through it. You've been through the worst of it. And you have the knowledge of all of it. Well, not the knowledge yet. You have the lessons to handle. Now, you know how they say, well, what did you learn? When you try to do something bad, somebody pop you and they say, well, what did you learn? What did you learn? This is a lesson. We go through this earth school, because it said that somewhere. We go through this earth school to learn. Did you learn the lessons? Did you take the time? All you got to do is take the time to learn what you went through. It's saying, okay, these are the things to look out for, and this is what I want out of a result of that. This is how I want to operate. And that's it. Just operate that way. And the energy won't have that much of an effect on you. But it has an effect on your mind because it's prevalent somehow. Maybe some of the things you do in your life remind you. Even smells can remind you of something. So, change up. Alright, going from there, you went to I Know. And it started off with the Knight of Cups. The King of Cups, right? Then to the Eight of Cups. And then it ended off, with fire or air, in this direction, with the Nine of Wands. So, let's see what the King of Cups says. So, wise, diplomatic, balanced head and heart, devoted, advisor, and counselor. Now, this is an emotional counselor. This is emotionally diplomatic, emotionally balanced at heart. Okay, good luck. Emotionally devoted. Now, you're doing this only because it gives you a certain emotional response. So, if somebody's triggering you just to get an emotional response, that's something that they need to feed on just to get to the next day. So, don't feel bad for them. And that's a better way to even think. Don't think that it's hurting you. Understand that they need to do this just to get to tomorrow. So it's not your fault. The longevity of it. How long it's been happening. How long this negative thing has been impacting you. It's for a reason. Yes, you are allowing it, so you have to own that part. You have to have some acceptance. But it's only because you're afraid to move to the next step. Alright. So the next card that came out was the Seven of Cups. More emotions, but it's less emotions. Choices, search for purpose, illusion, fantasy, daydreams, wishful thinking, indecision. This person is leaving the emotions behind. Understanding that the emotions are guiding you to what to create. It's dominating your imagination. Your imagination is tainted by so many trials you've been through because you haven't been dealing with them. When you deal with a trial, you have a form that keeps the energy, right? The energy is over here and it's in your spirit and it was out of whack, remember? The forms come from your mind. So once you deliberate on it, you gather a form that can contain that negative energy that triggers you. And once you do that, you can just use that energy instead of it using you, right? Moving on to the thing that cleared it is the Nine of Wands. So last stand, persistence, grit, resilience, perseverance, near success, and fatigue. So imagining that you will succeed. Just imagining the finished goal and what it would be like at the end is enough of an anchor to get you past these blockages. It's enough. Just envisioning it. You have a vision board. If somebody's been telling you to write a vision board, to write some notes, to draw, to calculate, to blog, post, whatever piece of that vision that you've been put onto, do it. Because I can only go from experience. I kept doing it by myself, and I reached here. And I have so many places I want to take this. So follow me, and you'll see where this goes. Right? Yeah. So moving on from there, you had Chesed, which is your will, right? And it started off with the Fool, so that's Fool energy. This is selfish, doing it for yourself for probably a good purpose, a good reason in your mind, but the selfish route is usually the least energetic. I'm gonna say the Fool is a magnetic energy in the place where it should be masculine. Magnetic is feminine, so masculine is electric. You ain't got no power. Your power is gone because you want to do it for yourself. So how does this translate? Somebody's doing something for themselves, which leaves you powerless. But it doesn't truly leave you powerless because you're accepting that. Let me read it. Beginnings, freedom, innocence, originality, adventure, idealism, and spontaneity. This is beginning energy. Thinking that you have to start over spiritually. Like, yes, no. Okay. Now, this means you have enough energy to start over or to try something new. Now you have the energy to try something new. And you know that. It goes to the Four of Cups. So let me get it. So apathy, contemplation, feeling disconnected, melancholy, boredom, indifference, discontent. Sometimes when you need to figure it out, you can't move because you'll be wasting energy. So in order to contain your energy, God has to keep you in the same place and allow you to learn. The magnetic side doesn't use energy. It gathers it, right? It gathers it for manifestations. Manifestations comes out of that magnetic energy, that attraction. You attract it towards you. Let's just put it this way. If the earth and the media was attracted to the earth, but the media brought so many different types of metals and crystals and things like that help the earth. So yes, it's destruction, but it brings beauty also. And the beautiful thing that comes new from it is like a clean slate. Alright, so going from there to the Page of Pentacles. Now this is what cleared it. Ambitious, diligent, goal-oriented, planner, consistent, star student, studious, grounded, loyal, faithful, and dependable. Now that star student hit me because you have to learn yourself. You can be a student of yourself, what you truly are. It comes out of you. Everything that you need to know, your Akashic record is here. So all you need to do is close your eyes, imagine it, write it down, and figure out what's in there. It's all in there. It's all in your mind. All the answers are there. Even the lessons are there too. So dig in. Don't be afraid to do it. You can dig in with baby steps. Alright. So from there, you got the Two of Cups and your Pace of Desire. Unity, partnership, attraction, connection, close bonds, joining forces, and mutual respect. The Two of Cups specifically signifies harmony in relationships and open communication. The symbol of this card is two hearts, including the asker. Okay, alright. It says mutual beneficiality. In your own mind, in your own spirit, being mutually beneficial is between your mind and your spirit. That's unity in itself. So when you balance the energy, which is your skill, which skill is that? Well, it's your power. When you're balancing the energy is your power. So your essential nature and your power. The Justice card is from the heart to desire, which is Gebuda, right? What you desire, you form what you desire through your heart, and then you fill in the space. You fill in the gaps. You figure out what you need to do. but your heart is the foundation of it, right? It shows you what you want. It shows you what's needed. So going to the heart, we have Emperor to start it off, and it ended off at a Page of Swords. So let's get it. Emperor is a great card, but it's wrong to be here. Understand that these places are perspectives in your mind, your eyes, right? But they're also roles that are played by the cards that I put down. So the Emperor is not the right card suited for this role, even though it is a good card. So something good could be happening with this energy, but it's in the wrong place and it's tearing you apart. So I gotta figure it out. Stability, structure, protection, authority, control, practicality, focus, and discipline. So that practicality thing, that's too much mental energy. No, that's too much heat. Now, when a computer runs hot, sometimes you need to cool it down. You need to understand that, turn it off, try not to think about it, go do something else, and it'll be easier. It'll run better when you come back to it the next time. So going on with a belief so hard that it drains you to the point where you just like need so much rest, and you're probably at that point, understand that you're probably going to be put on your butt just to figure all of this out, but in a way that you feel like everything's gonna end, but it's really not, because God got your back. You have to understand that. You have to go into everything understanding that Spirit is bringing you through a trial. You're not alone in it. And also, when you open your eyes and open to the people that were around you in the beginning, everybody always has somebody that they can talk to about the hard things. And if you can't, there's so much therapy around here. So there's always facilities. So from the Emperor card, it went to the Ace of Wands. Now this is also fire in that place, and let's look what it says. So inspiration, creative spark, initiative, new passion, enthusiasm, energy. Okay, so I understand what happened. Basically, this is a stagnant energy. This person is sitting here, and now you have this one wand that's coming from the clouds, and I don't think you're gonna reach it by being in that stagnant energy. So although there's fire here, there's clouds here, and that's air. So a little bit of knowledge is on the way to help you formulate, like to control this anxiety. But this anxiety on the flip side is just passion towards what you don't know yet. Alright? Moving on from there, you go to the 8 of Pentacles. Skill, talent, craftsmanship, high quality, high standards, expertise, mastery, commitment, and dedication, accomplishment. Right? So this seems like a good card to have there because it's an accomplished card. You're building towards something, but it's fake. Imagine that not everything, that's OD. Imagine that some of the things that you've been working so hard to do, to experience, wasn't the thing for you. So if you have like a plan in the works for like years, oh, I'm going to do this in this year, this year. You planned it out, and then it doesn't go in the way that you thought it was. Wouldn't you be disappointed? So planning is different from going after your dream. Going after your dream, you know there are steps, and it's going to take time. So the plan is kind of like going with the wave. It's not so much a plan, it's more like I have to surf this way, surf this way, surf this way, surf this way. It changes, but I'm able to cope. So this is too sturdy, and it's not. Yeah. So it ended off with the Page of Swords, and let's see what it says. So curious, witty, chatty, communicative, inspired, vigilant, alert, and mental agility, right? The one thing that I haven't seen so far is being able to figure it out. And that's what this Page of Swords is about. So in regards to career, it says ambitious, intelligent person, new career and education. So maybe you're studying something, or something, you know, is coming towards your social media, your feeds, whatever, and it's just like, wow, I've been thinking about this for a while. You know how the phones be tracking us, but sometimes it's a good track. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, but it helps out. So maybe write some of these things down. Take out the best parts of it. Alright, next up is the Ten of Wands. So, burden, responsibility, duty, stress, obligation, burnout, struggles. We mentioned burnout before. You have to burn out in order to stop sometimes. Sometimes we so stubborn that it requires us to lose everything that we can use in order to stop. And that's stubbornness. But it's also beautiful, because on the other side of it, once you learn the good lessons, you're stubborn in the right direction too. So nobody can knock you off in this. You're so stubborn. You're so into yourself now. You believe in yourself so much now. I can't affect you. I can't hurt you. So carry that stubbornness with you. It's not always bad. Use it in the right places. And these are your weaknesses, right? Stubbornness, you can say what it is, but let's just say if it was a weakness, I just showed you where to put that weakness to good use. So now it's not a weakness anymore. Now it powers you. Alright. And this is in the place of your rhythm. So the responsibility came out for me just now. It's like you owe it to yourself, and you know that now. So you're willing to do it. You love yourself a lot more for going through this. And because you went through it, why should I give it up now? It's more like, I want to have this pan out, or I want to get through this because I made it this far. And that's enough for some people, you know. The accomplishment of it all can really get you through it. So going from there, you have I feel, and that's the death, right? The death card, I called it the undead warrior. The undead warrior can only get hit by light objects. Now, and also they don't have any mass, so their body doesn't communicate to it. So this is cut off from the emotions, but also able to use them or to go against them. Transformation, endings, change, transition, letting go and release. Alright? It's all about, we've been talking about this for a while, so I can kind of skip this. You feel, now that you feel it, you know that you can work towards it. Once you feel it, once you understand it, okay, so you have to feel out for the understanding of spirit. And you have to work out the understanding of the ego. Alright. And this last piece right here is Malkut, and it started off with the Two of Wands. There's nothing you can actually build with. So, and it needed to be earth. In this center right here, these four areas right here, it was dominated by the element itself. So this is earth, water, fire, air, just ether, right? Alright, cool. So starting off with the Two of Wands, planning, but it's passionate planning. First steps, making decisions, leaving, comfort, taking risks. Now, these are the risks. That's the beginnings of everything. You're not at the result of it yet. So be patient with what you're doing, because it requires time in order for it to manifest. So that's kind of unfair to what you're doing already. You're shooting down what you're doing because you're not understanding the time aspect of it. So write the time down. It takes this long to do it, and don't be disappointed until that time. You know, don't allow yourself to be disappointed before that time. I hope that makes sense. Moving on, we have the Queen of Swords. Honest, independent, principled, fair, providing constructive criticism, objective, perceptive. Now, this is a mental thing. Also, nothing to cook, nothing to build with, because it's a mental, it's a thought. Yes, you can cook thoughts up, but that's before the manifestation. This is after it's manifested. You should have thought about it already. So this is probably jumping the gun. And like I said, we talked about the stubbornness already. So if you jump the gun and you're stubborn, God gotta stop you. God gotta stop you with the Ace of Swords. Clarity, breakthrough, new ideas, concentration, vision, force, focus, and truth. This is where your visions come from. It comes from your knowing, right? So we ended out off with the 9. The 9 of Wands. Yeah. So let's move on. We moved on to the 6 of Wands. Success, victory, which is your fuel. That's your whole fuel that fuels your perspective. The victory came in. So this is why I wasn't going to take that long before you. Okay. What can you build? What can you create? Or what can you use around you that makes you feel like you're winning? But it doesn't have to be anything that destroys anybody else. What can you do that doesn't affect anybody else negatively, that can make you feel like you're winning? Some people can just say, oh, I'm going to work out and get a better body and I feel like winning. But there are other things too. Not everybody came down here to be a beach body. Not everybody came down. But success, victory, triumph, rewards, recognition, praise, acclaim, and pride. So although this is passionate energy and you see the victory, you understand that it needed a little bit more work, and it came up to the Knight of Pentacles. This is the heaviest location right here. So there's a lot of fear, but now you have the Knight here. So let's see what it says. You're protected at least, at the very least, right? So that word again: practical, reliable, efficient, stoic, slow and steady, hardworking, committed, patient, and conservative. So conservative is sticking out for me right now. Patience is sticking out, and also practical. So this is something to use. Remember, this Page of Pentacles became a Knight. So not became a Knight, is using and its connection with the Knight. So let me get you to understand what I mean by that. This is what you will, and this is what you use. So you will use things to get you to your abundance. Alright? That's how that works. You will use your manifestations to get to your abundance. The reason why you came here. What you know that you can achieve. Alright? So we're coming up to the last part of the reading, which is the star stream. And basically, since we got the energy down and we unblocked all the places, all your perspectives, right? All your channels of I can't, right? Now you can. Now you know what's in your way. So what can you do? This is the mechanical energy spread. So let's get it down pat. First up is the energy. Is focus. Now there's experimentation, expression, integration, and then transcendence. What does that mean? Now that you have everything that's going on around you, all the energies that's blocking you, and the ideas that you can use from right now, here on out, moving forward to do better, with better perspective, right? Now that you have all of that, what are some of the practical things that you can do? So for your experimentation, when you focus most likely on yourself, better things happen. But we're gonna get to it. Next up is expression, and that's healer. So the death and then the healer. I find that funny. Death is the healing that you're looking for, but it's death in the mind, death of the old perspective. That's what this is. All is mind, and the perspective can heal you. A new perspective can change the way you walk home, making you safer. You know, so many things that a perspective can do. Alright. A shift in integration. A shift in what you know to use and actually applying it to your life. It's kind of self-explanatory, but you know, let's see what the writer says. And last but not least is knowledge, right? Knowing what's actually beautiful to you, knowing what you truly want to get out of the experience, knowing, and that's a knowing from God. It's not just you, it's the ego and the spirit saying, okay, we both agree that this would be great, and we know this, like, that's the truth, right? Knowledge is power. So power and transcendence. Oh, okay. So for experimentation, we have focus. Let's get it. If you have been feeling scattered, now is the time to go home. Wow. If you have been feeling scattered, now is the time to hone in your desires. Time to be direct and very clear with your intentions. Watch your thoughts, because you are drawing into your life what you are focusing on. Meditate on this card when you want clarity, directness in thought and speech. So what you focus on, you manifest. And if you want to use these manifestations to your abundance, if you're focusing on the wrong things, you're manifesting things that will deter you. It's that simple. So focus on the things that you feel that's best for you. It can't be clouded by anybody's judgment. This is why you need to be so alone, because you have to see yourself. So many things kind of need to happen when your ego's in control. It need to be fully subjected to the spirit and what the spirit has you to learn. So sometimes it's just time for it. So yeah, the healer in the place of expression. You are a healer. Fear not your own ability to be a light worker or a way shower for others. Drawing this card can also symbolize that healing in its highest form is available to you now. If you pulled this card in regard to a relationship or situation, please know that there is a powerful exchange of energy here. Meditate when you are wanting to heal on the physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual plane. Right. It mentioned a light worker or a way shower. Now remember what I said, any good business, you find a problem and the business that you gain is how to fix that. So people are looking to fix things, right? But when it comes into people's lives, how many things can you fix in somebody's life? There's so many things to fix in this world. This world is basically hell on earth. Get to work, you know? You can kind of pick and choose at this point. Basically anything you do is going to help. So get up. God needs you. God needs you to be a healer. Sometimes you got to heal yourself before you can heal other people. So integration, what you integrate into your life moving forward. So a shift. Miracles, divine intervention, the end of stagnation, and divine inspiration are here now. Drawing this card signifies an aha moment or a sudden change in any situation that was stuck or blocked. A welcome change or answer you have been seeking is here now. Meditate on this symbol when you are feeling stuck, unsure of which way to go, or having a block creatively. So writer's block, creator's block. Sometimes if you create content or something like that, you won't know what to make. Like, oh, what to do? You've been doing this for a while. Content, well, it doesn't have to be content. It could be something in the workplace. Maybe you ran out of ideas to help. The conductivity in the work, the logistics, you know, how things run. Maybe, you know, there's so many different things, but a shift is coming. the end of stagnation. And this is the symbol of infinity, and it's timeless. So this is a rhythm. This is the place of rhythm. So it's a great energy to have. Energy in motion. Energy is always in motion, right? It can never be destroyed either, just transmuted. So infinite motion in this area is always great, right? Keep up with whatever you know is best for you. So moving on to the last card is knowledge, and this is your transcendence. Oh, the first words was everything. Remain teachable. There is new wisdom available to you at this time. This card can signify getting more information before proceeding. It can also signify the presence of an important teacher, or perhaps you are the teacher, and it is this time to share your knowledge and gifts with the world around you. Drawing this card can also indicate a message from your Akashic records. Seek out more information about the records, or even perhaps learn how to access your own records for more clarity regarding your query. Basically, anything that you have on your mind that you want to know, it's within you, and the answers are there. Think of it as a mine, and you mine gems. These gems you cash out on your body, yourself, your soul, your spirit, only to make it grow from the inside. Right? Meditate on this to learn new things or draw the right teachers into your life. Right? Yeah. And also, remember it said getting information before proceeding. So if you are alone and feel like you in a cave 100 feet below ground, 2 miles in, and there's no flashlight, you just there by yourself, and you know you got to get out, it's the perfect place to be. Because if you had any clue on how to move, you would shift out of God's perfect position for you. So take where you are as a blessing, because we all know it can be worse. There's so many situations in this world where you walk by and you just thank God automatically. There's so many things that I see, I'm just like, thank God. I wouldn't even know what to do if I was in that position, and I just do my best to do better every day, just so I never run into that, because we never know, right? Alright, so this is the end of the reading. I hope you got what you needed out of it. I hope you got new perspective. I hope you have that thing that gets you to the next day. I hope you have that thing that you were looking for. Because, you know, my goal is to be that person that can provide it for you. So if I do a good job, if I did a good job today, if you like this content, like the video, subscribe to the channel. There will be more readings. I'm going to be starting new types of readings soon, so prepare for that. Understand that this is going to be an app, so you probably see it on the screen right now. Imagine this on your phone, but it's going to be so much bigger. I got a good plan for that, and Apsicatiers is going to make it for me. So yeah, the better I get on showing the community this, the faster I can get the app to you. So with all that said, thank you for coming. Thank you for enjoying this reading. Thank you for being here so far. I'm KyFy. Peace.